आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for Arnab Goswami on the debate. Arnab Goswami on the debate.
On the show tonight, the horrific celebrations continued in the Chinnaswamy Stadium, even as fans died outside the stadium. Showing off the IPL trophy is certainly not worth more than the lives of the people, but that is what the organizers did. And at 9 p.m. tonight, no security arrangements, complete mismanagement in the post-IPL final celebration event. Who is responsible for the Stampede? There has been a terrible incident at the Chinnaswamy Stadium in Bengaluru, where today, in the post-IPL final celebrations where RCB won the trophy, there were thousands and thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of people who had turned up. We're told 30 to 40,000 people turned up at the stadium. The metro stations were full. It was a terrible situation. There were people lined up. Of course, people were excited about the victory. But I must start by saying tonight that I am absolutely, without a doubt, I believe tonight that people who make money out of cricket don't care about the lives of the fans. For them, it's all commerce. And the politicians who organized that event at the Chinnaswamy Stadium, D.K. Shiv Kumar, all of them, are obviously there because they want to take mileage out of the victory. Political mileage is more important than the lives of the fans. And in this country, ladies and gentlemen, stars don't care, celebs don't care. Virat Kohli is laughing, smiling, enjoying himself. And while he does that, it is impossible that he does not know that at least 11, now 13 people have died, 54 people are injured. That a 14-year-old girl is among those who has died. And these were just fans. I'm not saying that the cricketers were responsible. I'm not saying IPL was responsible because they didn't organize this. But I am saying tonight that I was personally horrified when Mr. Arun Dhumal, the IPL chairman, told me when I called him, and this was at least 45 minutes after the event, that he hadn't even heard of it, that all of them were just leaving from Ahmedabad after being there for the final. And when I asked him, why aren't you calling off the celebrations at the Chinnaswamy Stadium, he says he doesn't even know who the organizers are. You see, they all passed the buck. I had to tell the IPL chairman, Mr. Dhumal, why don't you call RCB and tell them to stop the celebration? How much of a time would that have taken? But even that didn't happen. And the organizers decided that while people were lying there dead, and while people were still in hospital, and while there were dozens of people fighting for their lives, and 13 people had died, at that very moment, the organizers decided to go ahead with a massive celebration inside the Chinnaswamy Stadium. And the whole country must ask these people, what were you celebrating, Virat Kohli? What were you celebrating, RCB? You see, for these cricketers, and for these boss men of cricket, and for the politicians, all that matters is self-importance, money, commerce. And the fan is a cog in the wheel to be used circumstantially. And their view must be that where there are thousands and hundreds of thousands and millions of fans, what do the lives of 13 fans mean? Not even a moment's silence inside the Chinnaswamy Stadium. Why not, Mr. Organizers? Why not Virat Kohli? Why not a word for them? You see, I do not believe that the players did not know. I know they will come out now and say that while they were celebrating, taking selfies, looking happy, that they had no idea that 13 people had died. These are people who do Twitter 24/7. They're on every social media. I refuse to believe the organizers did not know. The fact is not that they did not know. The fact is that they did not care. They couldn't have cared less about the lives of the fans. Because you see another IPL, another tournament, another thousands of crores, lots of money, lots of sponsorship. lots of television time, just 11 fans who die, and then 13. How does it matter? People were suffocating, they were celebrating. People had fallen on the ground, they were walked over by the crowd. These organizers of the celebrations of the RCB victory inside the Chinnaswamy Stadium knew that people who were being dragged into the ambulance, people had to be given CPR on the spot. They knew everything, but they went ahead with their celebrations. And that's the kind of ride that these people, these cricketers, these cricket bossmen, these politicians take. These fans lined up for one glimpse of people they considered their idols. But these idols let them down today, because when 13 people died, when 50 were hospitalized, Virat Kohli was delivering his victory speech, clicking pictures with Anushka, clicking and smiling for the cameras. The RCB players didn't pause for a minute. They continued their celebrations. And it's impossible people did not know that there were others who were breathing their last outside the stadium, hoping to catch one single glimpse of these players. Why did you do this, Mr. Siddaramaiah? Why did you do this, DK Shivakumar? A 14-year-old girl lay dead outside, and he said the win is for the people of this wonderful city. He was giving speeches, and he said we need to show our trophy. That's what they said, not a pause for the dead. Not a word of condolence today. Not a word of condolence. Just a trophy to show, more hits to get, a crowd to entertain, and a crisis and a tragedy to ignore. That was their choice, because for them, their explanation now will be that the show must go on. Even if bodies are being pulled from the crowd, the show must go on. Inside, we must have lights, glamour, speeches, celebrations, film stars. And outside, there'll be common people, dead bodies, screams, death. Ambulances. RCB knew, the cricketers knew, they continued to sway in their celebrations. I refuse to believe that RCB did not know, that Virat Kohli did not know, that the news was all over the social media. Sirens were blaring outside. Did they not hear? It was as if nothing happened. This is not a lapse in communication. It was a deliberate decision to look away from a tragedy that involved the common people. Who do these celebrities care about anyway in their ivory towers? You know, ladies and gentlemen, IPL continued for 2 weeks after the Pahalgam attack. Then we were forced to criticize the IPL and the insensitivity of IPL. It was called off only after the criticism. Just a couple of days before the launch of Operation Sindoor. Where was the empathy? Where was the humanity of the Bollywood stars? None. Where is the humanity, the empathy of the cricket stars and the cricket bossmen? None. Where is the sense of accountability for the country and the fans who kill for their coffers? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to open the phone lines tonight. I believe what has happened this evening is the most insensitive episode in the history of Indian cricket. And I refuse to believe that the politicians didn't know, they knew. That the cricketers didn't know, they knew. That the cricket bossmen didn't know, they knew. Ladies and gentlemen, they knew and they wanted to celebrate. Let's debate.
Outside the Chinnaswamy Stadium. Outside the Chinnaswamy Stadium. Fans gasping for air. Stepping in to perform the CPR. People climbing over each other, scrambling for a shot at safety. Little children in the arms of police officers, children dressed for their biggest moment to celebrate their idols. as the ICU beds booked up at the nearby hospitals a kilometer away from the Chinnaswamy Stadium. Ambulance sirens replaced the cheering in a deafening cutting moment for India. But inside, the contrast was as gutting. As body bags were being readied, the so-called stars of Indian cricket and the Karnataka government were celebrating. Gleaming speeches by Virat Kohli and company. The Deputy Chief Minister cackling from Vidhan Sauda to the stage at the Chinnaswamy Stadium. Look at this contrast outside the stadium and inside. When Arnab spoke to the IPL chairman, he claimed he didn't even know.
Mr. Dhuman, this is Arnab Goswami here. I just want to ask you why this celebration has not been called off and why you as IPL chairman have not called the RCB team to call off the celebrations. People are extremely angry. 11 people have died and among them is a 6-year-old girl. Why is the celebration not being called off, Mr. Dhuman? What is there to celebrate?
I told you, reporter, I just got to know about it. There was no plan of any such celebration. We are all going back from Ahmedabad to our respective cities.
No, I know, but you can call the RCB team right now to call it off, Mr. Dhuman. You can call them right now.
I have to call off this interview, then get on with somebody on the call.
Yes, you please get on the call.
I'll be the reporter only.
Thank you. So we're sharing with you. I request you tell them because this is sending a very wrong message. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The Deputy Chief Minister went on PR overdrive in this last-minute celebration. The Deputy Chief Minister, who went on PR overdrive in this last-minute celebration, proceeded to blame the fans.
I don't blame my police department. They have done their best. I have spoken to the police commissioner and all the people. I'm also going a little late to the hospital because now a lot of trouble is there. I don't want to disturb the doctors who are trying to take care of the patients. And only the exact number is not been still this one. So we are at it. We appeal to all of them still to be calm.
How many people died?
That is why we cut off a lot of programs were there. We didn't want to continue with the program. Only within 10 minutes with one round we just closed it.
The fans came out of their loyalty to those who they have made their icons. But the fans went back in body bags tonight. Fans as little as 6-year-old. The icons did not stop their celebrations. The administration blamed the people. And now those responsible face the wrath of the people. The nation wants to know who took the decision not to call off the celebrations. Let's debate.
18 ವರ್ಷಗಳ ಕಾಲ ಕಾದ ಮೇಲೆ
Okay, starting tonight with Suri Hodigur BJP spokesperson, Ramakrishna Upadhyay, senior journalist, Bhavna Beligare, Kannada actress, and they are against the celebration happening. And those who do not blame the cricketers, the cricket bossmen or the politicians include Bhavna Ramanna, who's pro-Congress, Atul Vasan, former India cricketer, and Savita Raj Hiremat, she's a filmmaker. So, Surabhi, I refuse to believe that the cricket bossmen, the politicians, the RCB owners, the team, and the cricketers did not know. The fact is that they knew that 13 people had died, that potentially many more could be dead, and that there was, there was a very large number of people who were seriously injured, but they decided to go ahead with the celebrations regardless. Do you believe they did not know?
Arnab, I think that I can't answer at this point whether the RCB management knew or not. But here's what I can answer. I know who knew this. I know that the government in Karnataka absolutely 100% knew that there was going to be lakhs of people who want to get a glimpse of the players. DK Shivkumar, Deputy Chief Minister, 100% knew that there was a tragedy on the streets. He made a statement before he went and celebrated in the stadium. He knew, the Congress government knew that there have been police officers in Bengaluru across the entire night making sure that there's been safety, yet he put them back at work with a limited capacity when lakhs of people were entering. The Congress government knew that they're going to do a celebration in Vidhan Sauda where the ministers and their families, the MLCs, the MLA, what are the ministers' families doing in a government event? They were sitting in the function there while all of the common people, the actual fans were sitting outside within the crowds. The government of Karnataka knew.
Excuse me, ministers' wives and ministers' family can also be the fans.
I know you're very hasty to defend a government that is, culprit.
Bhavna, just wait a minute. Let her finish. Bhavna, let her finish. Bhavna, let her finish. Let her finish. Let her finish.
I will not accept anything less than that. Today, we have seen a government that cares about publicity over its people. That is the government that we have. What was the need for a celebration in haste? CBD. You're laughing today when 13 people have died. CBD is an area that has already high traffic, already has an increased amount of crowds. Did you not anticipate?
No.
Did you not anticipate that people are going to come out
all
on the
MG
streets?
roads.
No, 1 minute. Bhavna, I'm requesting you, let her speak. Bhavna, let her speak. Let her speak. Let her speak, and after that, I'll come to you. I will come to you after she finishes. What's your hurry?
You cannot defend the negligence on the part of the state government today, because if this was a private function, you could have said police permission, something happened. This was a government event in the footsteps of the Vidhan Sauda, and then the Deputy Chief Minister, after the tragedy within the stadium, present. The government cannot wash its hands away from this. Where was the planning? Where was the planning? And how were tickets sold or not sold? Who was in charge? Who was in charge, ma'am?
Before I get in Bhavna now, I want to make a comment briefly. These are the pictures from outside Chinnaswamy Stadium, ladies and gentlemen, the place where the Stampede has happened. It's been a terrible tragedy. 11 people have died. Earlier we were told 13, but official confirmation of 11. Now, people were crushed to death. What we are debating tonight is why the politicians and the cricket bossmen and Virat Kohli and all these cricketers continue to celebrate. What were they? Bhavna, let me complete and I'm coming to you. I will make my point and then you comment, right? The fact is, viewers, the politicians knew, because when DK Shivakumar was there felicitating RCB, felicitating Virat Kohli, the information was all over Bangalore, all over the country, right? And stones were being hurled. People were angry because stones were being hurled in the Vidhan Sabha, because people were angry that people had died, but inside the celebration continued. It's a Marie Antoinette kind of tyrannical approach. RCB and the politicians celebrating while the bodies lay outside. Now, nobody can say we did not know. It was a call that was taken, Bhavna Ramana, a call that was taken that the celebration needs to continue. They could have said no celebrations. Fans have died. What are we celebrating? But they said, no, we need to show our trophy.
That's something very personal. I cannot comment on that. That's something very personal to do
What is personal?
Stars of cricket or anyone. It is completely personal.
What is personal?
We cannot talk about it.
No, 1 minute. What is personal, Bhavna?
No, nothing is personal.
No, it is the wrong information.
Louder, I can't hear.
The whole MG road was blocked. The Vidhan Sabha road was blocked. And then you must know there are so many gates to the Chinnaswamy Stadium. It is the first time this kind of a mishap has taken place in Chinnaswamy Stadium. I'm really surprised that it's such a tragic thing which has taken place. And nobody can be proud of these situations, right? And that will happen in your own city and where you've grown up. And then Chinnaswamy Stadium that we are very proud of, something that is so nostalgic.
1 minute. This is the boss. Sorry, 1 minute. Bhavna, you need to listen here. See, this is a strange argument. Listen to me. This is a strange argument that you're putting out. I would request you not to at least appear so gleeful tonight, because a tragedy has happened.
Arnab. The people
No,
died.
I completely.
This is laughing like
Even your gleefulness. I know you're a Congress person, but this is what makes people angry about the Congress.
And so that has nothing to do with the Congress or BJP or anything, any government.
It's a Congress government. It's not any government.
What are you laughing about?
One minute. I'm getting in. Bhavna, just 1 minute. Bhavna, just 1 minute. I'm getting in Ramakrishna Upadhyay. I am on only one point, Ramakrishna ji, and I will get Atul Vasan on it. The cricketers are not responsible for the Stampede. But when the Stampede happened and people died, they knew. RCB knew, the cricketers knew, the politicians knew. The problem in this country is politicians, cricket bossmen, cricketers are all part of one power elite, and they don't care about the people. People will die. They could have, Atul, I'm coming to you. Atul, when they knew, they could have said, we're only going to, since you're all inside, we'll have a moment of silence and we'll leave. There's no need for this tamasha, showing the trophy, laughing, taking selfies. It's terrible.
Yeah, I got it. I got your point. I think I know what you believe, and you don't believe that they actually knew and they didn't know. But so I'll tell you what I believe. I think there are three parties to this problem. One is the politicians and the government. Second is the RCB franchise owners, and the third are the cricketers. And when I say the cricketers, why don't you just subsume all the cricketers and we call Virat Kohli? Okay, so it'll clear the debate so that we don't digress here and there. So I think knowing Virat Kohli personally, is no chance in hell that he knew and he kept at it, because he is not the kind of guy, and he is doing this. He agreed to be part of this, first of all because he wanted to give back to the fans that they know. Because
I'm sorry, but you're trying to make an assumption out here. How do you believe? Forget Virat Kohli. Let's not talk about Virat Kohli alone. You may like him. I'm saying all the cricketers. Are you saying that the cricketers are on planet Mars, where there is no social media, there are no phones, they don't know?
I tell you.
Oh, they absolutely know.
Let me
You don't tell me the cricketers don't know and try to make them look innocent, Atul.
There are only two parties who could have benefited from there. One's RCB franchisee, because they would have bumped up the endorsement rates next year because of this big euphoric celebration. Second, politicians.
Are you saying endorsement rates and money is more important than 11 people dead?
It is the government's wet dream coming true.
No, forget the government. You have just Atul, listen to me. Atul, you have just admitted in a way. You have admitted in a way that this celebration is either for the advantage of two groups of people. 1 minute. Atul, let me complete.
No.
Atul, let me speak, man. You're not letting me talk, Atul.
No, please. Let me finish.
You're not listening to my point of view here. 1 minute.
Give me 1 minute. Let me finish thing.
You give me 30 seconds, I'll give you 1 minute.
Okay,
listen to my 30 seconds.
It's
okay,
not
Atul, see.
from you.
All right, that's all. We know each other for a long time.
30
Listen to me.
seconds,
Atul, listen to me. Atul, listen to me. I give you 30 seconds after that. See, Atul, the point is, two groups of people benefit. The RCB franchise, the advertisers, the sponsors and the investors, because RCB value goes up, more money is to be made. One.
Yes. Agreed.
Second, the politicians, because every politicians like to sit with a successful cricket team or Bollywood stars, they'll get votes.
Thank you.
Okay, now, 1 minute. But don't tell me the cricketers are in a world where they don't have phones. They all knew also.
No, please.
Come on. The cricketers don't know.
Okay.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Can we agree to disagree that when you
Okay, we agree to disagree, man. No problem. But it's the worst thing in the country has happened today.
Okay,
they have let the people of the country down, and we're not going to forget it.
Our infrastructure, state governments have to be blamed totally. They want to have all kinds of events in the country, and they are not prepared for anything.
But you cannot blame them. Please, you cannot blame them for the deaths, because in spite of all the things,
one minute. Atul, I repeat, one second. Atul, listen, am I mad to blame them for the death? I'm not blaming them for the deaths, but I am blaming them for not raising their voice even when their own fans died. Their fans have died.
Unfortunate thing that's happened.
Children have died.
I know that. But you can't blame it.
Yeah, and they go ahead and celebrate. And these people who are so social media hungry, who are so image conscious, these people don't care. I want to know which PR team they're going to hire now to undo this damage. It shouldn't be access they should not have. I want to get Ramakrishna Upadhyay tonight. Ramakrishna Upadhyay.
Saudi Arabia every year. Go after Mohammed bin Salman. Go after MBS. Every year 500 people die in Saudi Arabia.
Can I come in? Arnab?
Ramesh.
Hello?
Yes, Ramesh.
Have the guts to go to MBS. Yeah.
Arnab, in less than 24 hours, Bangalore city of joy has turned into a deep mourning. Cup of joy has turned into a cup of mourning. I mean, this is a tragedy. This is a tragedy, and it has to be blamed on the police and the state administration. They knew that they had not done any kind of preparation that was required, and they just wanted to bask, in the glory of the cricketers. What kind of arrangements have been made? Nothing.
Cricketers don't make the event.
Siddaramaiah had organized an event at the Vidhan Sauda. So Shivkumar went to the airport to receive them. So there is one-upmanship within the government, and these two, cannot get over the, rivalry.
How can the politicians resist?
And in the middle of this, there was no arrangement made as to how to conduct this event. The police, the administrators should have sat with the police and then found out how do we do this? How do we go about it? Initially they said there will be a parade of cricketers taken on a open bus, and that should have been sensible enough. I mean, that would have given the fans to have a chance to look at the stars and the cup. And that was, stopped, and they didn't go ahead with that. You see, if only people had got a chance, half the crowd would have melted. But instead of that, you organize passes. You tell them you take a pass in the morning, and people are queuing out 4 or 5 in the morning. And then you could not enter because, the gates were closed. And it's a disaster to organize the Chinnaswamy Stadium in the middle of the city. I mean, people who have seen the city will know that the Chinnaswamy Stadium this was kind of a tragedy that was bound to happen. Even during IPL matches, we see,
which means
it has a capacity of 30 to 40,000.
Now you're seeing those crowds there, Ramesh. Atul's coming in. Atul, I'll let Atul come in. Atul, yeah.
So you can't blame the politicians for this freebie, how many free meals you have to distribute for a politician to get this kind of people to come to a rally? So these politicians,
I think Atul, 1 minute. Ramesh, 1 minute. Atul, I want to say this. See. Just one point. Just one point.
And they should have, mount the
one point. Ramesh, I know politicians very well. I've dealt with them for over 25 years. I'll tell you one thing about politicians. Wherever they see a crowd,
yes,
they want to take advantage. And in this case, I want to share one bit of exclusive information with everyone on. My information is there is one very powerful politician in Karnataka. I am told from the ruling party who has hired a PR company. I won't tell you the name of the company, but somebody should investigate it. And that PR company has told the politician for the last few days leading up to the final to wear T-shirts of the team, to wear insignia of the team, to wear the colors of the team, right?
Yeah.
One minute. And the PR company has said wear the jersey of the team, wear the flags of the team. And they were also responsible for the planning of what happened in Chinnaswamy Stadium. This was a, I'll tell you one thing. This was a PR stunt being done. There's a PR stunt being done. I have got information on this. And anyway, 1 minute. As far as politicians are concerned, I'll tell you, 1 minute, Atul.
Politicians are human too.
Yeah, 1 minute.
Forget that they're not human.
No, these politicians are not human. They are most inhuman.
Not human at all.
These are most inhuman. I want to get in Bhavna Belegari into this. This was a political stunt being organized. Bhavna, fix your camera.
Am I audible?
You are audible, Bhavna.
No, I'm Savita Raj here.
Yeah, go on.
I need to completely tell this victory has become a tragedy, complete whole tragedy. I don't support this at all. And then I completely blame, like Arnab, you're representing, you're telling that government should, and also cricketers here, should have been more alert on this. A simplest or smallest of the celebration, say a birthday, we take so much of precautions and we make sure that people go happy with a smiling face. No, Bhavna, you're completely wrong. You're taking a very wrong step here. I don't agree with you. And then in the shortest of the notice, if Mr. DK Shivkumar had told buy tickets and then come and visit your fans, see your fans, take selfies or do whatever, enjoy the pride that the cup is ours.
It's not something that you
But
make money.
when he made it
open,
imagine.
making money out of it.
Okay, Bhavna,
No,
Ramana. Bhavna,
it
louder.
doesn't
Yeah.
go-
Yeah,
it
Bhavna.
doesn't go-
Bhavna, Ramana, one sec. Not both of you, please. Miss Bellikari, please wait for a while. Bhavna.
Sir, listen to me here. If at
No.
all they were ticketed, if it was supposed to be ticketed, then to the government would be blamed because then they would be saying that government is making so much of money out of it, and then also.
No, you're wrong here, Bhavna. Again, why? Because I'm interfering.
One at a time. You can't have
That is
both
wrong.
equal.
And nothing should be bought. It's just a celebration. Nobody intended it to be a tragic thing. And you're making it as if they wanted people to be dead. They wanted people to be
One
suffering.
minute. Bhavna,
It's
either you
not
don't understand
something.
English or you're not
Nobody
getting
does
what I'm trying to
anything.
tell you. 1 minute. Bhavna, 1 minute. I need to be there on the screen. See, Bhavna.
Bhavna, you talk.
Bhavna, please understand one thing, yeah, right? I don't want to be quarrelsome
I've
with.
never spoken this much, sir, on your
Yeah,
show,
but I'm
today
coming
I
in.
really understand because
I'm
not
asking you
about
something.
this.
You are on my show not to make suo moto comments, but to answer my questions. You can answer the question. But let me ask you. 1 minute. 1 minute. I know you're showing your allegiance to Congress Party, but you got to listen to me. This is, first of all, you should not appear amused, and I'm asking you something. My question to you is this. Nobody is saying the politicians wanted them to die, but the politicians created a situation. Created a situation
It's
along.
one and the
Now,
same.
don't
Like,
interrupt me,
you're
man.
just
Bhavna, I'm
putting
telling
it
you for the
one
last
the other
time now,
one.
please.
Like,
The
no,
politicians
you're
created a
not supposed to say
situation.
that. No,
The politicians created a situation knowingly where if you see the crowds in the metro stations, you see you can't blame it on the fans. And I want to tell the people from Bengaluru, you don't let the politicians get away on this. They are going to blame you. The problem is everyone on. You see, viewers and people in Bengaluru, the politicians are going to blame you. The people are not responsible. The politicians and the RCB franchise is responsible for this.
No. There are so many events have taken place in Bangalore city with this big number. And even in the film...
Yeah, this big number without the arrangements. Without the arrangements, you cannot organize these things in a hurry. IPL champions, so we need to capitalize on this. We need to wear the t-shirt. Within 2 days, we need to organize an event so that we take political and business mileage out of it. That is terrible. Terrible.
Mileage now that they're getting.
Savita.
This is an mileage only that they're getting. They're not getting any personal mileage.
I think we need to actually blame the state. Absolutely, they have not organized the event. When the state knows this is a kind of a rush and this is a kind of event, this is a stature of event, it's the finals happening here. They should have taken double precautions. And it is definitely not. I don't know whether cricketers were aware of this mishap or not, but then this was a small event and the trophy was handed over to them. But again, politicians were aware of that and they were there and they were not stopping even to get a picture with the team. Why do we blame cricketers for that?
No, 1 minute. Savita, 1 minute, please. Savita, 1 minute. 1 minute. Let's get a little rational here. Royal Challengers Bengaluru had put out a tweet saying that Victory Parade will be followed by celebrations at the Chinnaswamy Stadium. Okay? Then they say we request fans to follow guidelines set by the police so that everyone can enjoy the roadshow peacefully. Then they say free passes, brackets, limited entry, available on shop.royalchallengers.com. So which means you will go to the Royal Challengers website, you will get traffic, you are increasing the scale of your franchise.
Yeah,
it's a clear business decision. It is, Surabhi, without doubt, a clear business decision to increase the franchise value of Royal Challengers. They cannot say we are not in the part of the organizing team. They are part of the organizing team, Surabhi.
And they were making
Surabhi and Bhavna.
political rally like that.
Infantile comments that politicians are people laughing on a show when there is a tragedy. These are not representative of views of anybody. Congress supporters must get their heads straight. Please, ma'am, let me speak. I'm already getting comments on social media to attack you. The people are unable to understand your comments. Please, people have died. What do you mean politicians are people? Politicians didn't know. How are they going to take mileage? Why was the DCM present at a function after a tragedy has occurred? What was the need to have an event at Vidhan Sauda? Tell me this. What was the need to have an event in this haste? Crowds, let me please answer some questions that you have raised over here. Do not speak over me. Crowds will
completely an open place. It opens to Kabul Park, which is nearly around 300 to 400 acres
of land. Understanding of politicians and administration, how it works. Their job is to preempt. Job is to plan. The police job is to protect. It is not to just happen.
Louder for Surabhi, I need the audio fix. Increase your audio monitoring in the PCI, for God's sake.
Is in this government's purview. Do you understand that? Law and order is the state government's purview. After yesterday's celebration, it must have been preemptively planned that a lot of people are going to show up. That is why there are certain protocols for disaster management. There are protocols for when things go wrong. There is none of that done. Within 12 hours, something has been planned like this.
I'm Bhavna, louder, Bhavna.
So when there is a governor present at the place, there is already a protocol. Without the protocol, nothing happens. Okay, you can say chief minister and then you can call them politicians. But
Ramesh, audio, Ramesh.
When India won the Champions Trophy, the Indian cricketers were taken around Mumbai. How organized it was. And Mumbai is a much more crowded city compared to Bangalore. So beautifully organized. So why couldn't the Bangalore police do it? And why couldn't the administrators think about how to...
Bhavna, Ramana.
You must know that. Ramesh sir, you don't speak when you talk about the geography of the city and the nature of the city and the nativity of the people and the emotions of the people. You don't speak about
on the left.
it.
Surabhi.
Was fully covered.
Bangalore. Don't try to lecture a Bangalorean about Bangalore. I know exactly where Chinnaswamy Stadium is. I know exactly how the CBD area is. All of that. Do not blame this on the fans. Do not blame this a tragedy on anybody else. Have the courage to blame this state government. Have the courage. Be a responsible public person. Don't laugh at shows like this. Have the courage to blame the government. Tell them to take accountability. Give us answers. Who planned this celebration?
If it was your government, then I would have blamed it probably. But I wouldn't have blamed any government being here in Karnataka itself. Because no government is that bad. I've seen them myself. I know all of them myself.
There is a government sitting here in power that is just as bad. That is the government sitting here right now. Today people have died, not yesterday, day before. For their publicity, for their PR, for the fact that they want to be, vultures on a celebration that the people are doing. You have allowed for Congress ministers, their families, MLCs, everybody to get a photo.
There's nothing wrong. That's what I'm telling you, Surabhi. Anybody can be a fan
the decision was taken. Now, Bhavna, please pull back. Our first caller is Sonali from Navi Mumbai. The issue tonight is that there was an entertainment program going on inside and a celebration while bodies were lying outside. And everybody knew, but there was a business commitment by RCB and a political commitment, and obviously things to be gained by the ministers and government, which is a Congress government in Karnataka. And therefore, for them, the cricketing/political/entertainment spectacle is more important than the lives lost in this incident. This tells you the mentality of these people. Sonali from Navi Mumbai is our first caller. Sonali.
Good evening, Arnab.
Good evening.
And this is really, really a sad event. And I don't know how come people are sitting over there and saying that this is all right. These were fans who were trying to celebrate. None of them came to die.
No, you're wrong.
None of them came to die. And most important, we have certain laws in the country.
Bhavna, don't speak over her. Visuals have to be non-stop, producers. Yeah.
We have the chief minister and so many people over there. A small procession needs police permission.
No, I'll tell you, Sonali, I'll tell you one thing. Sonali, let me intervene and say this. It was a Congress government, visuals on. It was a Congress... one minute, Sonali, 1 minute. Let me go to Gopal from Chennai. Viewers, remember, it was a Congress government in Telangana. There was a movie screening. Alu Arjun, Pushpa 2 screening. There was a stampede. And Alu Arjun was arrested. You remember that, Surabhi? Everyone on, please. You remember that? Now, I dare Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar to either arrest themselves or arrest the RCB. I want to see who they arrest. Because they immediately arrested Alu Arjun.
Yes.
Right? And Rahul Gandhi supported that action.
Yeah.
We all remember that. We exposed that hypocrisy. Gopal, what do you think? Gopal from Chennai. Gopal.
Hi, Arnab. How are you?
I'm very well. Very sad about this today.
These two together. Crazy country as regards cricket. Unfortunate incident. They should have stopped it, condoled the death, and probably postponed the celebration to some other day. It would have satisfied everybody.
Precisely, they didn't do that.
We won't be discussing it.
No,
Is that fine for you?
We would still be discussing it. But when there are so many people dead, including a girl who is in class 9, and Bhavna Ramanna, who's pro-Congress, comes and has a big smile on her face, right?
I'm not smiling for that.
Well, I don't know what you're smiling for tonight. Surabhi,
In this moment of tragedy,
not just to
how are
support
you
the state government.
How are you smiling in a moment of tragedy?
That's okay.
Simple question.
Sneha from Bengaluru. Sneha's calling in from Bengaluru. Sneha, what do you think?
Yeah.
Sneha.
So I was there. I was part of celebrations last evening when it happened, when the
Please listen
RCB
to
had
Sneha,
won.
everyone. Yeah.
And, there was a lot of chaos that was happening, and it was getting out of the police hands as well. And if they couldn't manage such a small crowd, then obviously they would have gone crazy after seeing, the fans, the cricketers coming to Bangalore and having a rally. So they should have organized it better. At least assessing from the situation that has happened the previous evening or the previous night, they should have assessed the situation and they should have think. And for what Bhavna is saying, that, even the politicians are human beings, they are at that governing level because they are supposed to govern such a huge crowd. And if they are not capable of governing such a huge crowd, then they shouldn't be at that position.
No, the fact is that they knew. You see what's terrible. And I go on to Kapali from Bengaluru. The fact is these people knew. These people knew. Viewers, please remember, these people knew that people were suffocating. They knew a young girl had died. They knew people were being taken in ambulances. They knew everything. The people who had fallen on the ground, and they continued their celebrations. And there is no way that in 2025, in the age of social media, they did not know. So if they say that, don't believe them. That's the worst excuse they can make.
That's why they called off and they had to rush. They had to rush off and they had to leave the place. In fact,
Bhavna, your argument does not hold because they themselves said that we shortened the celebrations, which means they were part. 1 minute, Bhavna, you can hear me for a while. They were part of a decision between politicians, RCB franchisee and the cricketers that we'll shorten it a bit, but we'll go ahead with the celebrations anyway. So they were part of a decision.
And then Mr. D.K. Shivkumar has to say that he is going to go visit later on. Why? He has to go for a luxurious
Because he has to finish the
party,
celebrations
dinner,
and then visit the people who've lost their loved ones.
Visit the patients there, injured people there, dead people there, and their families. What are you saying, Bhavna? How can you even give this? There was such a reaction.
Then what you would be doing? You become a chief minister and a DCM, then you speak about it.
No, why do you give a short notice and then call crazy people? They do come. They are crazy fans of cricketers here.
Nobody didn't know that even RCB is going to win. They only came to know the last minute when they're going to win at the 18th over.
Where is the protocol? Where is the security here? There is only given securities for the VIPs. And there.
Arnab, the fact of the matter over here is that this is an incredibly irresponsible state government that has made a decision in haste for their own publicity and nothing else. Absolutely nothing else. If the RCB team was given permission to do this, finally, the accountability rests with the government. The police were completely tired after yesterday's celebration. And mind you, the city celebrated yesterday.
The casual attitude of the state government and the casual attitude of Siddaramaiah is evident from the fact that what he has said now, he says that such incidents happen in many places. I'm not going to defend it by comparing them and saying it happened here and there, but 50 to 60 people died in Kumbh Mela. I did not criticize. If Congress criticizes, then it is a different matter. Did I or the Karnataka government criticize? Says Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah. This has been reported somewhere. Now, this is the attitude. And people will now say that people's emotions, right? What Bhavna is saying is that people's emotions are responsible for killing people. Fans are emotional, so they will die.
May I please put this important point across? Ask me the same questions about the Kumbh Mela. I will tell you what the disaster management plan was.
I will tell you much better. I'll speak in Kannada itself. Then you can have a translation underneath, you know?
Chief Minister cannot get away blaming this on the crowds. We knew crowds are going to come through. We knew a stampede-like situation would be possible. What was your preparation?
Has anybody related to a top businessman or top politician died in this? No, it's common people.
And Arnab,
that's why this level of insensitivity. And I want to tell people who are crazy about fans and film stars, I want to know where that woke Prakash Raj is tonight. Will he have the guts to speak on Siddaramaiah? No. Where is Prakash Raj? Bhavna? Where is he?
I don't know. I haven't called him. If you had told me, then probably I would have found out.
You don't know. And hiding somewhere.
It's sad. How is he comparing with Kumbh?
He doesn't have to hide somewhere. He
should go and hide in shame somewhere.
No, I think I have to take a short break. But I'm going to take a break, and when I come back, who's to blame? No security arrangements, complete mismanagement, and what happened is this. They decided they need to do a huge event as quickly as possible after the IPL final, within 48 hours. And they made no planning, which means they knew that people were guinea pigs, and they took a chance that even if people die, they must make commercial and political mileage out of this. That's the way the common man is treated in this country. When I'm back.
Time for a quick breather. Arnab will be right back with the debate.
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला। सिप सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप।